Welcome to another deck profile. This time it is with Chain Summoning Gadgets. I'm making this deck real quick because I feel it's really broken, so it's going to be hit real quick once the new ban list comes out in July. So it's not going to be around forever, it's going to go away probably real quickly, in which case, because, well, it's very, very broken. Practically for no cost whatsoever, you can get out 3 XYZs, maybe 4, depends on what you have. So I find this deck to be extremely broken and very powerful, and until the new ban list comes out, it's gonna be a problem. And we might see more people play this than Gogiras, because I mean you could easily take a Gogira deck and turn it into here with all the machines and the Gigant X and the Machinas. So I feel this is going to be replacing Gogiras. And so let's get right into the effects, and then I'm going to explain how the deck works. Machina Fortress, pretty much discard level 8, including monsters that are whose level total equal 8, including himself, and you can special summon him. Redux, combine these two for rank 7s. Machina Gearframe to search out Fortress. Trap Tricks, I don't even want to pronounce her name, to search out the regular trap holes and the bottomless. I'm very iffy on this card because I feel like it's just a threat. Oh, I'm gonna summon her, add this card to my hand, set it. Like, it's a threat. Like, hey, if you summon anything, I'm gonna bottomless it. I'm gonna trap hole it. Okay, MST. You're pretty much telling your opponent what you set with this card, so I'm very iffy on that. If you don't like playing that way, I mean, yeah, if they don't have a response to get rid of it, then yeah, they do have to worry about that. And then Green Gadget searches out Red Gadget, who searches out Yellow Gadget. Pretty much what the gadgets do. Kakatokage, when you normal summon a level 4, you can activate this card in your hand and special summon him. Tin Goldfish, when you normal summon him, you can special summon level 4. Mind Control, take one of your opponent's monsters. Double summon. Normal summon twice a turn. Upstart, just for more consistency. Duality, for more consistency. MST, because, well, Heavy's banned. Chain Summoning. Activate this as Chain Link 3 or higher. You can normal summon or set up to 3 times per turn. And you can activate this if you have multiple cards effects in the same chain, with the same name in the chain. So really you don't run into that problem ever unless you have 2 Kakatokage and you're stupid enough to activate both of them. And so we just go with chain summoning pretty much. I'll explain how the chain works at the end of the card effects. Bookamoon, generic Lance for back row. Trap hole, when a monster is normal summoned with 1,000 or more attack, destroy that target. Banish any monster that is summoned with 1,500 or more attack. Deep Prison, generic. Storm Warning, generic. XYZs for 2 rank 7s, generic rank 7s. Gemknight Pearl, because he's a non-effect monster and he's a 26 beater. Utopia, generic. King of the Pharaoh Imps, just to search out Kakatokage. Gigant X to search out Gearframe. And 10 Goldfish if necessary. Fairy King, just to make sure that your opponent's monsters lose 1,000 attack if you were to activate both of them. There have been times when I could have pulled them out, yet I find Silent Honor are just a safer answer. Extinct On Knight because he's OP. Diagusto Emerald because you're kind of running through XYZ kind of quickly. So if you can get them in the grave, then this card can become very great and just draw power. And then you also have Gemknight Pearl, who's a non-effect monster, so you can use the other effect and special summon him. Yet pretty much, if you have 3 XYZs in the grave, it doesn't have to be XYZs, but if you do, and you put all of them back to the deck, you can then draw 1, pretty much. Or you can put any monster back in the deck and then draw 1. The thing with putting XYZs back is that it just becomes a +1. You're not adding anything to your deck, so It's just straight up +1. So that's very nice. Or besides that, it allows you to put back your gadgets, so that way you don't run out of them, and your Kakatokage and all of your cards, so that way they're always alive. So he's necessary. You could run him at 2 probably, maybe throw in another Silent Honor Arc or Extinct Knight. It's up to personal preference. And Gaga Cowboy just for the OTK finish. Now that I explained everything to all the card effects in this, let me explain how the chain works. Normal summon a gadget. Activate Kakatokage. Chain with chain summoning. There's be 3, so resolve. You can now normal summon 2 more times this turn. He will be special summoned, and he will search out. Well, green would search out red. Oh no, yeah, red. So that's what makes the gadgets so OP with this, is that you can then go into King of the Pharaoh Imp, search out another Kakatokage, summon, go into whatever, and then like maybe it depends on your hand. Like normally you want to go into Gigagigant X once, doing that normal summon, and then maybe grab 10 goldfish or Machina Girafin. Depends on if you're going first or not. In which case you do get green, get him and chain summoning. Then no, you want to activate. You want to go into King of the Pharaoh Imps. You go red gadget. No, you'd search out. Oh no, you couldn't search out. Yeah, you go red gadget and then Giant, and then switch out him to get Machina Fortress in your hand. Pretty much. So, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities with this deck while it's still alive, and some people like to consider it an OTK because you can get 3 or 4 XYZs out on the field, but it has no answer to the back row besides Diamond Dire, and I actually took that out surprisingly. Yeah. And so that I kind of dislike, how there's no real answer besides MSD to the back row. So I feel like it isn't an OTK, because just attacking with all your XYZs, oh, Mirror Force, okay, well, no monsters on the field, you go. And even then, if you don't attack, like, the monsters you have out on the field aren't the most powerful monsters. Like, they can still get hit easily by Dragon Rulers or any deck that goes into Big Eye or Dracosack. Like, Dracosack's more powerful, Big Eye's more powerful than most of these cards. And so it's very iffy with this on whether or not you can get the OTK out. I mean, yeah, you have a lot of cards that can really screw your opponent over. You have the Trapple and the Bottomless and the Solemn Warning and the Deep Prisons. So it's a great deck. So it has some great power to it, but yet it's not enough to where I feel like you can get an OTK off, like with Demise. If you're gonna get the OTK off, then you're gonna get it off. You blow up all the cards on the field with Demise. Yet with this, you don't. You just pull out a whole bunch of monsters and hope that they don't have Mirror Force or Deep Prison or anything. And even then, like, Solemn Warning can shut this thing down entirely. Like, you Solemn Warning the first, calm yourself, Redox. Solemn Warning the first gadget. Nothing's gonna happen. Also to note out, you can do the chain with Gearframe, except you won't be searching out a gadget, you'd be searching out Fortress. But you can do the chain summoning and get it with Gearframe, just for you to know. And with Trap Tricks. Yeah. You could do it with Trap Tricks, I believe, also. And the only card in here that you really couldn't would be your level 7s and your Tin Goldfish. Because yeah, it would activate, and then, well, you would summon him. If you had Kakatokage in your hand, then yeah, you would be able to do the chain. So no, you could do it with it. But yeah, most of the time you don't see people doing it with Tin Goldfish because of it's kind of iffy. I mean, it's just easy to get these 3 cards, and it's harder to get 10 Gadget, Kakatokage, and Chain Summoning, when it's just easier to have Gadget, Kakatokage, and Chain Summoning. So it's possible, and if you do it, then it's really effective, I guess, because you have 1 more monster. Well, actually, you get 4, so you can go straight into 2 XYZs. Yeah, real quickly. So, yeah, I feel the deck is really great. I mean, it does fall down to Acid Rain, I believe, destroy all monsters, and Dark Hole. I mean, if you can stop the OTK, then you're kind of good. Yet I've seen it do really well against some tier 0 decks. Like, I mind controlled the guy's Yamato, and then I didn't activate. I set my hand up for Chain Summoning next turn. That's what I did. And then I let my opponent go, and they really couldn't do anything because I took their Yamato. And then next turn I was just able to get out a whole bunch of monsters in OTK. So I mean, if you get the right cards to your hand real quickly, then yes, it's a great card. So I feel this deck is going to have a lot of consistency problems before it becomes really great. And yet I feel there is a limited time, because Chain Summoning's probably going to go to 2, maybe even 1. Quite possibly completely banned. It depends on how Konami feels about this, because it is a little bit broken and stuff like that. And as the deck goes, most of these cards cost very cheap. They're all cheap. Like, I checked a lot of them. They're like 50 cents a piece, like $1. Like, the most expensive card you could use with this deck would be Lavelvel Chain. Well, no, Dracosac would be. Yeah, Dracosac's then the expensive part of the deck. Him right here doubles the entire cost of this deck, if not more. Because, like, I checked all of these. The gadgets run 50 cents. I think he runs 50 cents. 50 cents. Chain Summoning, it's an old card, so yeah, it runs 50 cents. So many of these cards just run for 50 cents that it's like, it's just a really cheap deck and a really easy deck to build, and not much to worry about in building it. But yet, if this deck gets more popularity, and if it becomes more consistent or even more broken, like somebody finds something else to it, you can expect to see prices to go up, definitely. And I'm surprised that Kirigine isn't as cheap as it is, seeing how there's Gugia Kakakiri. But I think that, as I said, is like has seen its time. Like, it's starting to die off. I'm not sure why, but I mean, there's still a good deck. Gugiras are still a good deck, but like, you don't see too many of them. Like, you more see Bujins and Fifas. Like, those are the decks that have really proven themselves to be the ones that are going to win or get first place. So you see more of those and not as many Kakiri. And then every now and then you might see like Dragon Rollers. But yeah, I feel this deck is great, and it just needs a little bit more. Somebody were to put in some time, do some stuff like that, I could see it just topping a whole bunch of places. When somebody finds a solution to the back row's gone, and it's gonna be OTK. So it's gonna be Konami releases a trap hole that destroys back row. I just had that thought. I was staring at Trap Tricks, and I was like, what if Konami released a trap hole card that destroyed back row? That reminds me, there was a card I wanted to look at. Twister. 500 life points, destroy 1 face-up spell. Wow. I heard this card and I didn't know what it did, and I just wondered if it could work. No, stop. Keyboard. There we go. Yeah, I'm not real sure what you could use. I mean, you could, I guess, use Wing Beat of Giant Dragon on Redox, and for those of you who don't know what it does, turn 1 level 5 or higher dragon type monster you control take on his hand to destroy all spells and traps. So you could do that with Redox if you wanted to, but yet you're only running one of them. You can search him out. The only way to get him is to draw into him. And I mean, this deck does great deck thinning. Like, first turn you can go from after you are done drawing from 34 to 26 or less cards in your deck by just your first turn. But then after that, it could get real slow. I mean, once again, it depends on what's in your hand. At all times, it depends on what's in your hand. But yeah, I guess you could run Wing Beat with this if you're looking to destroy the back row. Otherwise, I would not know what to run to destroy the back row. I mean, they're all level 4s, so, and Diamond Dire Wolf, like, yeah, that's a good card, but yet that would work if there was only one back row. If there was a whole bunch of back row, then Diamond Dire is just going to be a minus, like a huge minus for you. You spend a whole bunch of resources for what? Blow up one back row. So, I don't think Diamond Dire's worth it. Extinct Knight is probably worth it. Like, you could pull, the thing with Extinct Knight is that no matter when you use it, unless your opponent did XYZ, you're gonna have less cards because he's technically like a -1. XYZ summoning's a -1. So on the monsters on the field, because you have to have 2. So your opponent late in XYZ summon, they still have 6 cards, 7 cards on the field, mate, in their hand and on the field. But you did your search and you did all that, but yet you went into Stentar Knight, and now you have 6 instead of 7. Now you get to blow up the field. So Extinct Knight is probably going to be the answer to the back row you see most often. If you do have a lot of back row, bam, they're just going to blow up the field with Extinct Knight. And then just set up their hand for next turn. And so that could hurt drastically. But for the most part, I feel... I mean, then again, even this is costly, especially if you already have monsters out, then yeah, it's costly. So there's gonna be a better answer than Extinct Knight, but I'm not sure what would require a really great duelist to figure that out. And I'm not gonna spend too much time in it, because it's one of those decks that I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time in, only to find out that it doesn't work. I don't do that already. Relinquished. Yeah. I'm mumbling to myself there. Not sure if you even heard myself there. But hope you guys like this deck profile. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And check out my friend Arsenic Door and some of my other cool videos. And yeah, I'm thinking of maybe doing some Legend of Zelda, because I really like Legend of Zelda, along with Resident Evil, because I don't want Yu-Gi-Oh! To be dominant on my channel. I want it to be gaming in general, so I want to keep up with Resident Evil, with some other games, so that way I can get more people to be in to come to my channel, and who knows, maybe introduce them to Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. But yeah, pretty much this is the deck that I could build. There will be duels with it. I would match like normal. And tell me what you guys feel. And question for you guys: how do you guys feel about the new ban list? Morphing at 0, Necroface at 2, Wolfbuck at 1. Those are the major differences. Might be the only differences, really. Oh no, Magical Stone went to 3. Primal Seed went to 3 also. So tell me what you guys feel about the new ban list. Do you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? What is Konami trying to say? How do you feel about certain decks? What are you guys' opinion on it? Well then, rate, comment, subscribe, check out Arsenic Duel like I said already, and bye! Hey guys, one last thing. Download Turtle in the Game today. It's a really fun game, really great. Every single card in the game. You can build your own decks, duel other people ranked. You can buy commands as a chat. Really, really fun. And don't forget, check out these other cool videos. Rate and subscribe. Thank you.